Dean, you came into this game as bottom 2 or 3 offensive team. What did you see out there that impressed you on that end of the floor in particular?
Yeah, I think when you have short turnaround games, kind of went in with a focus of just about 2 or 3 things that we thought we could create an advantage on, and I thought we did. Pace for a little while there, they slowed us down with the way they disrupted up the floor. I think we ended up countering that one a little bit, but CG, when he's in that mindset to just keep moving and have people scream well for him, and the threat to pass that he's been, I think he's coming off games with 5 assists as well. So, he's not only putting the ball in the hole tonight, but there's the threat of creation, and his passing ability just opened up things for a lot of other people.
It was a very junky first quarter, a lot of fouls. What does it say about the ceiling of this team to know that you guys can overcome that and keep a lot of flow on the offensive end?
Yeah, it was junky because we messed up a whole bunch of coverages that we didn't get done defensively, and again, short turnaround. We'll challenge ourselves as coaches about. We got together to meet this morning. It's something that you probably wouldn't do when you got a delayed flight and you don't get into 7 o'clock at night coming back from Cairns is to get up and 9 o'clock and have a meeting. But we needed it. We needed to focus whether the value of the meeting in what we tried to put in was actually seen on the floor, or was it just actually having a focus point to get ready for today. So, proud of the group about, it's not an easy trip coming back from there, and you see some times that we were super gassed, but I thought we fought pretty strong today.
You had 30 from CG. It looks like you went to him a lot in the 3rd and 4th quarters or coming off on balls. Is that a focus coming to this as well?
Yeah, I think Williams was someone that we obviously wanted to try and put in some on balls and just see what his coverage was, whether he'd be aggressive or whether he'd stay back, and I think they ended up changing that coverage anyway and putting Creaky in that on ball to try and disrupt it. But again, we made a short roll to Ice and he gets tuck on a dunk, and we were able to. It's a bit of a growth in our offense over the first quarter of the season, is just being able to read coverages better and what we can get out of each one of them. So putting the ball in his hands was an easy thing to do tonight.
You mentioned last week that you're going to learn all about your team this week about how you can defend a bigger team, and the first half looked pretty dicey there with Williams, but how pleased were you with the response, especially in the second half, to that first half where Williams seemed to be pretty dominant?
Yeah, he had a great game, and a lot of it's, he's got good touch as well as being a power guy, and he just seemed to continue to displace people on the offensive glass. He picks up a lot of cheap ones there, but we challenged ourselves single coverage to say early on, could we try and limit his ability to get back to his right hand, and it's tough. I thought a lot of the times Ice had a pretty good stance on him, but he's still just able to get to where he wants to get to. We tried to trap him a little bit the second half and made him pass a couple of times and threw some different things at him, but he's a hell of a player.
And then the response, I guess, after that, that first half, I think the rebounds ended up being pretty much almost level after they were doubling it at one stage. It must be pretty clear.
Yeah, we really challenged the group at halftime about the boards. They had 13 second chance points at halftime, and there was that, and free throws was really keeping them in the game. Otherwise, we were, defending, at a reasonable level. But I think the second half was more about, could we tire him out? Could we sprint? Could we make him run? Could we make him defend every on ball? Could we just wear him out a little bit? That may be able to affect his offense.
Obviously, you never wish you will on everyone, but when you sort of hear that a guy like Ryan Brokoff isn't really laid out, does that give the team a bit of energy, a bit of a boost? That, geez, this could really help.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We go into Cairns and they have Wardenberg out and they have Mirko Deric out, and you see everybody just rise to another level, and so their group was so excited about the outs up there, and I'm sure there's some guys on Phoenix today say, damn, I'm going to get to play a little bit more, and be really excited and step up. So you never want to see a good player injured or anything like that. So, we didn't really focus on it at all. We just talked about, what the matchups would be for us, and it was never spoken about to say, we've got an advantage. You don't in this league. People step up.
Chris, you seem to clutch your groin possibly at the end of the game. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to get out. We got young kids chomping at the bit. But, you know, as Dean said, big weekend, you know, the bodies at certain times were fatigued, so it was just a good opportunity to get out and get our young guys in and reward them for their hard work.
Oh, you've had some pretty good games already this season, but where would you rank that one? I mean, it looked like hopefully your best one for the season. How did you sort of say it?
Let me rank them.
We've got all the time.
I don't know, man. We got a good win in front of 10,500 people. I like looking at that and seeing 10,500 people and having a win, because the last time we did that, we didn't come away with a win. So really pleasing. You know, I keep banging on about our front office. They're doing a great job post-COVID getting fans in this arena. And what you want to do is reward them, reward the fans for turning out and supporting us, and I think we did that today.
Chris, are you noticing that the continuity with guys settling into their roles now is making the team a lot better? Are you noticing that guys understand their roles? You've had a lot of ins and outs as far as Shea and guys coming off the bench.
Yeah, it's we're working on it, and it's an adjustment for some people, and I guess the way it always is it'll be an adjustment from night to night. And how good can we, you know, switch into that mode of, all right, the team needs this from me. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it as hard as I can until I'm gassed, and then I need a sub. So I think that's probably the biggest thing from us. You know, we let ourselves down in Cairns, but to come back and respond and just have guys go out there and, you know, after the first 5 or so minutes, just do whatever was needed to be done was pleasing.
Dean, how important is Shea to this offence? I mean, we saw him take some strides forward today. I think obviously he struggled on Friday, and you know, we know it was a big part of what your plan was coming into this season. But now that you've got him back and presumably getting his legs back under him, you've got this FIBA window ahead to get some more training into him and some more load and stuff. How important is him in terms of what you guys want to do on that end of the floor?
Yeah, both ends of the floor, right? You know, he's still going to be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year every year. And, you know, again, the example that he sets night in, night out, I really challenged. We hadn't been good coming out of the half the last few games, and so I really challenged him to say, just go give us 3 minutes at a super high level. And, you know, I think he disrupted couple of inbounds passes that got thrown out of bounds, and you know, he just did those things that gave us extra possessions. Yeah, offensively, I really believe over the last couple of years there's been massive growth in his willingness to want to shoot it any time someone goes under him. In the on ball, I think once he gets by the screen and puts himself in the lane, just his decision making, I think he's really slowed down and got, you know, ice a couple of times, and you know, they really stepped in and had really good conversations because they hadn't practiced together hardly at all about, you know, where Ice wants it and how he's going to play. So, and then he gives us the pace that we've been missing. You know, X plays a little bit slower, a couple more extra dribbles. Shea just, you know, puts some heat on the rim and just gives us those cheap ones as well. But yeah, 18 minutes, and you know, we want to continue to see that grow and you know, see if we can get him to that mid-20s.
And speaking of Ice, 2 pretty strong offensive games in a row as well, and obviously still having an impact defensively. Are you kind of happy with where he's at now, given, I know there were times earlier in the season where you probably didn't feel like you utilised him enough through some games? Yeah,
you know, we'll probably go back, and you're always with the bigs, you always miss them a couple of times, but I think we're focused on it well enough to say, you know, the times that there was mismatches tonight when, you know, I think it might have been Lockie Barkey, just saw him early, we throw it down there, he spins baseline, we get a foul, you know, we've just been kind of missing some of those reads about who's got the best mismatch on the floor, and but as a part of his growth as well is about being demanding and really letting everybody know that he wants it, and I think he's growing in that area.
And Chris, can you speak a little bit about Dave Aquera and his growth and development? Because I thought he took another really strong step forward tonight, and you know, has his troubles with fouls here and there, but you know, I feel like he's really getting better game to game, and we're seeing that out of him. So how do you rate what he's giving to this team right now? Yeah, he's been really good. The potential has been there, and I think the year he had under Barlow in the NBL 1 just gave him confidence to play in that system, and
and translate that into our team, because when he plays with that confidence and knowing that he's going to get a certain amount of minutes, or there's a big responsibility thrown upon him, he's been great. And shoots the ball really well. He's got confidence in his shot, so teams are obviously testing that, and that's impressive to have that confidence in your shot, to just go and step in and shoot it when teams are disrespecting you. That's one I'm really happy about. And then he's smart. He knows how to play. You said he gets a couple of fouls here and there, but I think the more he plays and the more the refs get used to officiating him, he'll probably get away with some more stuff, because he looks like he does some really good things that he's getting pinged here and there, but that's just a growth for him in this league, and getting more comfortable, and people getting more comfortable with him. If he's watching this, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Keep working. But he's given us a great switch up and great minutes.